Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Key coming at y'all boys with a brand new video, and today we finna go ahead and get into another one for y'all boys, man. The untold story of the largest counterfeit vape operation in the United States. You feel what I'm saying? Now, people was basically fiends. Like, you couldn't go in the bathroom without damn near dying from other people smoking. You feel what I'm saying? So, with that being said, man, let's go ahead and get into this video about these counterfeit vapes.
It was in early 2018 when two brothers from a small town in Wisconsin had dreams of making millions.
Well, I'm
the younger
stop
one,
the video right here and say, well, we know how this ended because they both in jumpsuits. You feel what I'm saying? Jail.
a kid named Tyler Huffhines had been a hustler his whole life, always listening in on his mother's business meetings, flipping sneakers and used cars, and investing in the stock market the day he turned 18. But his whole life changed when his older brother Jacob introduced him to the world of THC cards.
Yeah,
now, Tyler was never the type of guy to get high, but when he realized how lucrative a business counterfeit cards were, he couldn't resist taking advantage.
What's the other one? It was another one. They were like, but they were valued more. It was like a black box. Well, most of the time it was black, like black or gray. Not chronic. It wasn't chronic, not Danks. It was something else, bro. If he showed me, I know
paired with
which
Jacob's
ones it is.
extensive knowledge of the THC cart market led him and his brother to create the largest illegal counterfeit vape operation in the US, selling an estimated 2.9 million carts and making millions of dollars in just a year and a half. However, thanks to some strict parents and their kid, the Huffhines brothers' operation came crashing down just as fast as they grew it.
And I'm not gonna cap, that's exactly how a lot of people at my school end up getting caught. I remember specifically it was two individuals. They come from great homes, their parents really good jobs, this, that, and the third. They were selling edibles. I still to this day never took an edible. I ain't never gonna do that shit either. But this one person took an edible at school, and the edible was too strong for them, and they end up like freaking out, like hyperventilating or whatever. And when it came to it, they were like, look, I got this from this person and it made me react like this. Like, they told.
Charges in a large-scale counterfeit vaping operation.
Authorities say their mother was in on it.
They seized THC products with a street value of $1.5 million.
Tucked in the Westosha region of southeastern Wisconsin is the quiet village of Paddock Lake. Surrounded by vast farmlands, quiet country roads, and dotted with clusters of trees, it's a peaceful place that's far removed from the bustle of big cities. The village, home to about 3,200, is built around its namesake lake, a hub for summer boating and winter ice fishing. It's the kind of town where everyone knows everyone, especially when it comes to their local high school. Westosha Central High School acts as the central hub for students across the area. The school, standing on the outskirts of Paddock Lake, is a modern building that almost feels out of place next to the village's small homes and rustic charm. But it's here where the youth of the Westosha region gather to learn, play sports, and in the case of Tyler Huffhines, make some questionable decisions. Tyler grew up with his older brother, mother, and grandfather in a quiet neighborhood overlooking Paddock Lake. From an early age, Tyler was drawn to business,
if you got a house on the lake, even if it's, you know what I'm saying, not the biggest or best house, it still got to be decently valued, right?
Behind furniture, listening to his mom's business meetings, and pleading to open his own bank account. By 7th grade, he was already on his grind flipping sneakers to make a profit. And when he entered Westosha Central as a freshman, his entrepreneurial skills only got sharper. While other students were caught up in sports and mowing down kids on Newtown, Tyler was learning the ropes of business, taking as many business and leadership classes as possible while always looking for his next money-making gig. As his high school years went on, he made thousands of dollars flipping used cars while also investing heavily in the stock market the day he turned 18. After Tyler graduated high school in 2018, he attended Carthage College and worked alongside his brother at his mother's real estate office. Now, he was still on his grind of becoming a young millionaire, but he was becoming restless. He wasn't content with being stuck working a typical job. He wanted more. He wanted something lucrative, something thrilling, something that would fit the CEO type of lifestyle he always yearned for. But thankfully for him, his older brother Jacob had just the right thing for him. Jacob Huffhines lived a vastly different life than his ambitious sibling. Born 3 years apart, Jacob spent a majority of his teenage years getting into some pretty serious shit. By the age of 17, he faced charges for marijuana possession and underage drinking. By 22, he was a convicted felon and earned himself some jail time on charges of dealing cocaine and running a drug house. But despite these obvious signs that he should step away from the world he veered himself into, Jacob always found
these people come from good homes. They got a life plan. You got a life plan. Your mama is a real estate developer. She got her own real estate office. Why are you selling coke? Like, bro, what? Bro, I'm telling you right now, bro, if you was to put me, like, let's say I'm a young kid, we restart, take this shit all the way back to the beginning, and my mother is a real estate agent, damn near mogul in our town, our city, you ain't gonna catch me doing no stupid shit. Are you crazy? Most people who are doing shit like this, they come from obsolete backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Mama worked at the post office or some random shit. You know what I'm saying? The best thing that y'all got, like, really save yourself or investment wise is a 401k. Shouty in real estate, the earning potential is damn near fucking unlimited. My nigga, learn something. You feel me? You don't have to, like, I ain't gonna cap, bro. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like, I really thought at one point in time, bro, in order for you to get you some real money, you gonna have to do something illegal. I really thought like that. I ain't gonna cap. I thought like that. But then when I got out and I started experimenting, I start making money. And when you start making money, it starts pulling you around different people. And I'm like, how you got rich? Real estate. How you got rich? Trucking. How you got rich? You own a clothing brand. How you got rich? You own a dealership. How you got rich? You sell flowers. How you got rich? You do junk removal. You can literally get rich doing anything. I can get rich doing this right now. I can get rich. I can take this same camera that I'm using to record these YouTube videos, go record somebody else and get rich. You don't gotta sell no coke, and I ain't gonna cap. It's very few people like who actually do what they do and make it out without serving no jail time. Or you, like I said, you an obsolete drug dealer. Like you dealing drugs, but shit, you dealing drugs to buy drugs. So you trapping, but you trapped. Or you know what I'm saying? You to that point where you a small fish. You feel what I'm saying? So like, it's easier for them to, you know what I'm saying, to just catch you, pull you over, and catch you slipping one day when your car smell like weed versus putting a team together to go get you.
Way back into the drug trade. He never learned from his mistakes and instead dove headfirst into learning all about the world of dealing. And his eagerness to continue selling drugs aligned perfectly with the rise of THC carts. Mind you, this was early 2018, a time when these products were starting to catch fire and become super popular. Legal gray areas and a growing demand for discreet, high-potency cannabis products were creating a goldmine for those willing to take the risk of dishing them out. And Jacob, who was already deep into this world, saw the potential to make a shitload of money from selling these carts and was willing to take that risk. But not alone. Tyler's ambition to make massive amounts of dough paired with Jacob's vast knowledge of dealing was a match made in heaven. A match that Tyler simply couldn't resist. When Jacob laid out his idea to Tyler, he was completely on board, and just like that, the boys started to craft up a plan. Their strategy was simple. They wanted to create an operation that cut costs and maximized profits by selling counterfeit vape cartridges. In other words, they wanted to establish what's known as a pen factory, a low-profile operation that essentially served as a middleman between THC liquid suppliers and high schoolers who wanted to get fried. Their plan revolved around sourcing empty vape cartridges and branded packaging from Chinese manufacturers for dirt cheap, and then filling them with THC liquid that the boys obtained from California. Basically, they wanted to pass off their carts as legit for as cheap as possible. Is that scummy? Absolutely. But it was profitable, and they made it even more profitable.
Now, looking back on this, and I remember some people saying that like a cart that they had bought like burst or It was like open, it was spilling. Shit like this makes sense.
By opting to cut their THC liquid with cheaper oils that contained vitamin E acetate.
What does that mean?
Sound familiar? This approach used less of their expensive core ingredient while still making their product look legit, which in turn increased their margins with minimal overhead. However, even though they had a solid plan set up, the duo still had no clue where they would set up shop. I mean,
you got to think about this. Y'all figured all this out for something illegal. Imagine if you put the time and effort into figuring out something legit. Y'all niggas would be billionaires.
Tyler probably had enough money saved up to buy a place, but they wanted to keep costs down as low as possible. So where would they go? Well, it turned out the answer was close to home. Courtney Huff-Hines wasn't your typical mom. She was a well-known real estate agent in the Westosha area with a larger-than-life personality that perfectly matched her career. If you lived anywhere around Paddock Lake, chances are you saw her bright red blazers on real estate ads or her smiling face on Instagram, promoting her new listings or showing off her family's latest vacation. But beyond the posts and business attire, Courtney was someone who valued ambition and wasn't afraid to take risks. She had spent over 2 decades in the real estate game. She built her career by working with well-known real estate companies in southeastern Wisconsin and eventually opened her own place called Realty Executives Unity. And despite filing for bankruptcy back in 2012, she was back on her feet by 2018 and opened a brand new real estate office in Union Grove, Wisconsin, about 15 minutes from Paddock Lake. She was all about success, resilience, and self-belief. But it turns out her success wasn't just limited to selling homes. If you know what I mean. The boys approached their mother with their plan, pitching it as some kind of entrepreneurial endeavor that required a home base. And shockingly, instead of slamming the door on their wildly illegal idea, Courtney did the exact opposite. She gave it her blessing and even allowed them to use her office in Union Grove to get things started. It's almost surreal to imagine. Like on one side is Courtney's nice real estate office, and on the other side, her own sons are filling carts with Booth. On January 16th, 2018, Tyler, Jacob, and Courtney kicked off their new startup with nothing more than some empty vape carts, a bit of THC distillate, and a lot of ambition. Tyler, the #1 man in the operation, knew that scaling this type of business required, well, learning the business. And this is where a man named Moo came into play. Moo, who was not a cow, but rather the boys' plug from California, wasn't just their supplier of THC distillate. He became Tyler's mentor. Over countless FaceTime calls, Moo walked Tyler through every step of making counterfeit carts, like how to dip the caps in alcohol to avoid leaks and how to properly fill them. Tyler picked up this skill rather quickly and began making his dank vapes and chronic Sour Patch Kids carts all by himself in a matter of days. After he got in the swing of things, it wasn't long before he decided he needed to...
I don't remember chronics that much. I'm not gonna cap. I don't remember the chronics that much, but dank vapes, I remember that shit like it was yesterday, bro. But the thing that was so crazy to me, which I never understood, is how many flavors there were. Or how is it like, bro, that shit is just crazy, bro.
Invest in more supplies. Over Labor Day weekend in 2018, he flew to California, carrying $300,000 in cash to purchase more distillate. A fucking
Okay, first of all, I didn't even know they let you take that amount of money on a plane. I thought you had to declare it.
Insane move for a kid straight out of high school. The trip secured the steady supply of THC oil the brothers needed to ramp up production, which led them to the tall task of building their team. They started out by hiring a few associates to help fill the carts, paying them $20 an hour to do so, well above the Wisconsin minimum wage at the time. And for a while, their system of filling and selling carts out of Courtney's office was running smoothly, until one of their associates got stopped by the cops. Now, although this little situation didn't blow up their operation just yet, it was enough to make Tyler and Jacob hit pause and think about a new location to start filling their carts, something way more conspicuous. They set their sights on a condo in Bristol Bay, a peaceful neighborhood in the village of Bristol. Tyler, already having trust from sketchy randos in the state, turned to California to find a guy and pay them to steal a man's identity, which he then used to rent out the condo. Once again, a fucking insane move for a kid who couldn't legally drink.
Nah, it's smart though.
But this wasn't even the craziest part. Courtney was the one who brokered the deal for the condo and was well aware that her own son was not only using a stolen identity to rent it, but also knew that they were about to run a full-fledged drug ring.
Okay, first of all, yo mama a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Your mama, she gonna do what she gonna do for her kids, even though she's stupid as fuck and she probably very driven by money. Why she would broker the deal, I have no clue. If anything, the reason for you getting out of her space would be to, you know what I'm saying, save her and keep her away from the bullshit. I know she wanted some money, but that shit was dumb.
Honey, what are we doing? And somehow, no one suspected a thing from the condo deal, and it soon became the center of their ever-expanding empire. Over the next year and a half, their operation absolutely exploded. They went from a few helpers here and there to a full team of 10 workers who were filling between 3,000 and 5,000 cartridges a day, which equates to over 2.9 million carts over that time frame. Also during that time frame, Mr. Tyler, tightened up the operation's workflow even more to increase productivity.
They couldn't buy no machine to fill that shit up. Like, I would much rather have a machine fill that shit up than some humans, bro. You got 10 people who could possibly snitch on you. That's what I look at it as. That ain't no fucking workers. That $20 an hour is not gonna stop them from snitching on you when they facing 5 years.
He did so by switching his workers from being on hourly pay to paying 30 cents per cart they filled, an equation he calculated would create more carts and cost less for him.
He realized it would be more cost effective, according to Tyler, if he started paying him 30 cents a cartridge. He would save, or he would make an additional.
So let's see, right? If you're making $20 an hour, I'm gonna divide that. 60 carts. How long does it take? Well, 66 carts. How long would that take?
$2.20 a cartridge.
From when they started in early 2018 to around August 2019, the Huff Hinds were killing it. Thousands upon thousands of carts.
Think about it though. That's smart as fuck. Because when I was in school, right, carts could go anywhere from $30 to $45 at the high range. Maybe somebody attacks you, and that's $50. That's taxing, right? So, if I charge you 30 cents to create this cart, what is that, 1,000%? That's an 1,000% increase if he's selling it for $30, or a return on investment.
Manufactured and sold from the condo, some of which were even making it to neighboring states like Illinois and Minnesota. This officially made them a multi-state operation with absolutely no suspicion from anyone. Now, their neighbors would see Jacob, Tyler, and the gang constantly leave and come back from the condo, but they didn't think anything of it. They thought it was all normal. Well, everything seemed normal until a couple of parents about an hour away from the operation caught their kid doing something naughty. A mom and a dad were shocked to see their kid getting stoned off a cart in early July 2019 in Waukesha, an affluent suburb near Milwaukee. The parents wanting to hold their high school.
That's how it goes, bro. It's somebody, it's never somebody, you know what I'm saying, with normal parents. It's somebody with a nice home, nice family essence, 30, 45 minutes away from where you do your dirt, who get caught because they don't know what they doing. They don't know what they doing. They just doing it to either be cool or just to have something to do.
Accountable, marched him down to the local police station to turn himself in, which I mean is a little extreme, right? But regardless, the parents made their kid talk with the Waukesha Police Department and discuss where he got the cart from, which is when he showed them Tyler's Snapchat. Now, Tyler would constantly post about the thousands of carts he had in stock, his piles of money, along with his constant trips to California to re-up his supplies.
Okay, all of which, you dumb as fuck. I'm not showing my face. 1, 2, dude, if you say, look, I got him in, you know what I'm saying, come get something, like, you know what I'm saying, do what you gonna do. Why you gonna post everything you got? Why are you posting money? Like, evidence.
It was a gold mine of information for these cops.
Tyler set up an account on Snapchat and sold product using the name Wisco Bag Boy.
After seeing this, the Waukesha Police Department launched an investigation, meticulously tracing dealers and anyone else that could be a part of the operation. The evidence stacked up quickly, and within a month, the Waukesha cops teamed up with the Kenosha Drug Operations Group and the Racine County Metro Drug Unit to finally take down the Huff Hinds operation. On September 5th, 2019, around 6 a.m., authorities executed search warrants at the 3 locations connected to the Huff Hinds: their childhood home in Paddock Lake, their condo in Bristol, and Courtney's office in Union Grove. The first raid took place at the family's home. Inside Tyler's room, officers found around $48,000 in cash in a fully loaded shotgun shotgun with one in the chamber. Inside Jacob's room, they found a loaded rifle, cocaine, weed, a digital scale, some cards, 9s, and
Jacob, dude, I think more so than just like him wanting to sell drugs, I think he was a drug user, which made him want to deal drugs in order to get money to pay for his addictions and live how he wanted to live. That's the biggest thing. Tyler was just pushed by the money, bro.
Pills and around 11,000 cash.
Everywhere.
And around the house, detectives discovered 8 other firearms and assorted drug paraphernalia. Up next was the Holy Grail, the condo in Bristol. At the condo, officers found 31,200 THC vape cartridges ready for shipment, 98,000.
Hold on. They probably gonna break these numbers down, but I got to. What they said, 31,000. 31,000. Let's just say, like I said, it can range anywhere from $30 to $45. So the median is gonna be at $37.50. $1.1 million about
filled carts and 57 mason jars filled with THC distillate worth around $342,000. There were also 3 money counting machines, 18 pounds of weed, and stacks of empty packaging for brands like Dank Vapes and Chronic Sour Patch Kids. This is also where Jacob and Tyler were found and arrested.
So they didn't know that the raids was going on at the crib. But look, one thing that I do remember, bro, I do remember this too. There was a store in the mall and they used to sell like runts and cookies. They used to sell their packaging so that people could just basically have some regular weed or whatever they got, put it in there. I'm selling runts now. I'm selling cookies. You ain't got no plug on no cookies. That shit all the way in Cali. We in Atlanta, man. Yo ass count. But whole time, it's the finesse.
The Kenosha County Sheriff's Department executed warrants last week on 2 county properties. 2 men have since been arrested, 2 brothers.
Lastly, authorities searched Courtney's real estate office in Union Grove. At the time, the place had been mostly cleared out, but police still found leftover packaging materials and drug paraphernalia, enough to show that the office was a critical part of the operation at one point. And as a result,
if you're gonna move everything, don't even leave a penny.
Courtney was arrested a few weeks later.
All the THC oils and stuff were gone at that time, but all the packaging, everything that was there in the Bristol condo was also there in the back of her office.
So now, with all 3 Huff Hines in handcuffs, it was obvious they're going to be slammed with the book, right? I mean, an illegal multi-million-dollar operation,
in the middle of fucking, I think, oh fuck, where is this at? Not Michigan. I don't know, bro. Like, Wisconsin. Nobody serving over 10 years.
Defraud a shit ton of firearm. Courtney were all charged with some pretty serious crimes, as you can see on the screen. I mean, it's literally enough to fill the entire screen. And after looking at all of those charges, it seems like some pretty serious shit. But whatever god-tier lawyers they hired got them out of all of it. Jacob was only fined $10,000 and placed on 2 years probation. Courtney was fined a total of $15,000. And Tyler, who was the one who spearheaded this entire thing, was not fined at all and only placed on 3 years probation.